Hi everyone, how are you? If you're like me in the east or on the East Coast, you're loaded with snow. And while it's very pretty, it's getting to be, oh my gosh, this is ever going to melt. But we'll see. Supposed to have some more this weekend, but it is pretty. And all of you, my relatives and friends who are in Florida, you don't have to tell me how warm it is. I know how warm it is, but what can I say? We're here enjoying the nature of snow. Uh, so this coming Sunday, and it's really interesting that this gospel, especially the gospel, would be placed this time of year. Usually, you would think, or we know on All Saints' Day, the gospel of the day always is the Beatitudes, the part of Jesus on the Mount. And for me personally, I love these Beatitudes. I find them, I did a paper one year, very many years ago, on the Beatitudes, and I learned so much. And this last September, I did a retreat for a group of people on the Beatitudes. That was our topic. And just to be able to sit there and just look at them and understand them better. And I know my biggest question always was, can we really live these? I know Jesus can do it because Jesus is Jesus, but can we really, you know, um, be meek and pure, you know, heart and uh, show mercy. I mean, we can. And I've came to the conclusion, and I kind of, what I did do was match up each beatitude with a person who actually lived it. And we certainly can, we can do it, but only with the grace of God, because some of it seems, really unbelievable. Can we really do these? But for Jesus, these Beatitudes, you have to be able to understand them and to live them if you really want to be a true disciple. I always crack up when they say, we need the 10 Commandments to hang on the walls. Well, they're wonderful. They're great. Yes, and we should follow them. But the 10 Commandments are yes or no's, pretty much black and white. The attitudes are a different story. It's helping us to transform and convert within. And it's much more of a challenge than to say, of course, I'm not going to kill anybody. Of course, I'm not. But what are the things that I harbor in my heart um, that could get in the way of my discipleship and get in the way of Jesus? When you're teaching the children, the younger grades, I think just presenting Jesus as a wonderful teacher and what does he have to tell us? And again, for younger children, the 10 Commandments are easy. Uh, but the Beatitudes are Jesus is telling us here's another way to do it, if you really want to follow me. And you have to watch the word. And I certainly would go into your teacher's packet and see what ideas they have for what's age appropriate to teach the Beatitudes. And just for yourself to sit with them, pray with them, uh, just because it's such a gift. There's such a gift from God and from Jesus. And as Jesus says, I didn't come to change the law, which would be the 10 Commandments and the greatest commandment, but I've just come to fulfill it. Like this is another way of looking at it and helping us to become more Christ-like, which is important. So again, living, if you even go beyond, and we will go beyond the Sermon on the Mount the next few weeks, the story continues. And what does Jesus have to say in the Sermon on the Mount? The attitudes are the first, but then the challenges continue. Um, what am I asking you to do? So again, this is not an easy lesson. It's not an easy lesson to teach adults. So for children, you have to be very careful of age appropriateness, as I said before. And again, it's one of the greatest gifts that we've been given from Jesus himself. Jesus, the great teacher. This is it. So, I think we're always looking at virtues and we want to be virtuous. We want our children and our grandchildren to be virtuous. This is the way to look at them and maybe approach it that way, like the good characteristics. And, younger kids know right from wrong, you know, um, they certainly do. The older ones, you can start to challenge them a little bit with them, with the realities of these Beatitudes, the deeper meaning of them. And, you know, I think they get it. And I think they kind of know it but they have to have someone to explain it better. And for us too, as I said, for those of us, those we are adults, we're being called to hand on the faith. Look at this one. This is it. This is the recipe, so to speak, for being a disciple of Jesus. It's not easy, but Jesus didn't come to make it easy. Uh, he came to make us be loved and to love. And this, for me, when I read these Beatitudes, they are the ultimate of love than what Jesus went through on the cross. But there's a lot of sacrifice involved in these, and it's for a mature spirituality and a mature growth. So let them be for us a gift that we look at and we try to practice and pray for the grace to help us deal with those things, help us to become more merciful, help us to become more aware of what's going on around us in terms of we just don't mourn for those who died who were close to us, but look at the world and see, do you feel mourn? Are you mourning? I mean, there's a lot going on in the world that we certainly could do. So think about them, pray with them. I wish you the best with them, and you can always get in touch with me if you have any questions about it. Have a good week, and we'll see you next week. Stay warm, stay safe. We'll see you then. Bye.